Sandra. No, I think we're probably on the same time zone. Hello. Are you guys so excited? It is Tuesday, the 27th of February. I'm kind of joking when I say, are you so excited? It's Tuesday. Are you so excited? So I'm so excited because I'm getting more settled here in my new studio, and I'd love to get your impressions. Let's see what is going on over here with the Love Will Save the Day. We got the squirrel. We got all kinds of cool globes. I got to get my lighting together. The lighting is insane. Or maybe it's me. Maybe I'm insane. Anyway, how are you, Sandra? Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just me and you. Let's have a little party. And Mark, me, you, and Mark. Mark, I'm so proud of myself. I caught up on your last video and Shan's last video before going live. That's what kind of extended my start time. Did you guys catch Shan's live from last night yet? It's freaking crazy. Like, it's not another repetitive nothing. It's earth-shattering, you guys. Did you see it? Oh my God, we'll talk about it. It's like I could cry. Like I could hear Craney about to cry. And look at how healthy I'm being, you guys. I'm on a roll. I'm trying so hard to get my life together. You know, I'm 56. Maybe it's time, right? Evolution drink, organic, green, devotion. It's got celery, cucumber, spinach, romaine, kale, lemon, and parsley. And it's not that bad. I actually have it mixed. I think this is the one that I mixed half and half with pure celery juice. Sandra watched it. She said it's jolted me. And Mark, did you get to see it, sweetie? You guys rock. Thank you so much for being here with me. Like I said, I could just cry. Tears of joy for my loyal subs and tears of utter disgust for all the freaks in Tahoe that are covering for these a-hole kids that, I don't know, maybe they ran her off the road. But the video, well, let me do my regular stuff. Let me do my disclaimer and then tell you, I don't like to keep you hanging. But the video. One sec. I'll do my quick disclaimer. I'll do my other regular stuff in a second. So everything that I'm about to say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of having a conversation with you guys, hoping to further this discussion about justice for Kylie. And all my videos to date have been made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. My goal is to be educational. So here we go. We got Mark, we got Sandra, we got CB. Hello, Anna Bean. Yay! It's a whole party. Look at us, you guys. Okay, so before I start to cry, let me talk about Shan's video from last night. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's not going to be a spoiler alert, I don't think. It's just going to help point you in the right direction. I'd say watch the whole thing because the entire 2 hours, almost 3 hours, it's like 2 hours and 52 minutes, I think, somewhere in there. The entire thing is great. I literally got to watch the entire thing. I was watching part of it live last night, but I came in a couple of minutes late and then I fell asleep. So I just watched the whole thing while I was going about my business, taking care of business. And I'm jazzed from it, as you can tell. I'm kind of breathless. But towards the very end, and I wrote down a bunch of timestamps, but between 2 hour and 25 minute, 26 minute, all the way through to the 2 hour, 43 minute, but all the way to the very end, she's kind of replaying this part where it looks, it's all the fire cam footage. And you guys know how much I despise that whole fire cam footage crap. But this, I don't think is crap. It looks like a car flipped over a few times. And I'm forgetting off the top of my head, maybe you guys can remember what time of the night that was. Was it like 1 a.m.? I think it might have been about 1 a.m. I'll have to go back and check. So I would imagine that Shan's going to have a live tonight. Maybe not. Maybe she needs to do other stuff. I'm not trying to put any pressure on her. But what I was going to say is her next live, I would think, will be smoking hot on fire. The squirrels are already on fire, but even more on fire, discussing this crap. So it's like the boat ramp, I think, you guys. And right as Craney said, or maybe Shan said something about the boat ramp, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, Sam Brown and the cover up at the boat ramp. And then Craney said it, and I was so glad because that's exactly what I was thinking. And that, I think, is at the 26-minute mark about the boat ramp. But you see that car flipping over. Let me see what you guys are saying. Anna Bean says, I couldn't sleep after watching it. I don't blame you. I know. I mean, I'm like on the verge of tears. I mean, first it was the tears for Kylie, and then it was tears of joy because all my besties are coming on in at 1:47. Thank you, Anna Bean. Awesome. So 1:47 a.m. So that's why they're trying so hard to keep the time frame like way before that for when everybody last saw her at 12:36 or last phone call 12:36. So then they could say, oh, well, look what happened at 1:47. We hadn't seen her for over an hour, right? But there's clearly other cars there. It looks like at some points in the video that it's headlamps that people are wearing, like Scammy's headlamp from the night after. And my goodness, you guys, we got to keep the pressure on all these channels that are just hammering away, and thank everybody, not just the content creators, but the viewers. If it wasn't for the viewers, we wouldn't be doing the content. Seriously, you guys are just as important. No joke. So yeah, Anna Bean, I'm sorry that you couldn't sleep, but I don't blame you. So you got to see the whole thing live. Lucky. There's so much good material right now. So I titled this video, I might change the title later, but I titled it like the gaslighters and how they're red rumming people right in front of our freaking faces like this. And here we are a year and a half later, and Shan is finally nailing this down. And bless her soul, because she's got the skill level. And thank goodness she has the time and the inclination, because I don't have that kind of skill level. I definitely have the inclination. Time, you know, I do have a quarter of a dozen children, but that's, one is actually the hardest number in my opinion, and I know Shan has the one. So Sandra says, I woke up and viewed Shan's short and my heart is broken and makes me sick to my stomach. It was like, seriously, it is so visible. 142, 147. Oh, okay. So she did a short that you saw this morning. I haven't seen that yet. I'm so glad I got to watch the live, because if I saw the short, I might have skipped the live because I was trying to get on with you guys. And I was just like, you know, I just want to watch the whole thing. I don't want to miss any of it. And I'm so glad that I did that. And same with Mark Molina's, because Mark, your last video is just as freaking brilliant as Shan's last video. I'm going to put a link to that too. And I highly recommend people that are wanting to find the justice for Kylie, check out Mark Molina's and Squirrels on Fire's most recent. I would imagine that most of my viewers, especially my loyal subscribers who are watching live right now, I would imagine that you guys all are on top of Mark and Shan and Ninja Chihuahua. And I said the name of a channel wrong yesterday. Euphoric? Is that the channel? I called it Horrific because I've told you guys I've got severe dyslexia and I do that. So when I was spelling it for you guys, I was thinking, wait, isn't the F before the R? But that wouldn't be right. Anyway, I think it's Euphoric. Is that right? Like F-U, no, F-U, H-U-F. See, I did it again. That dyslexia is real. H-U-F-O-R-I-C. and maybe it's a double F or double R. I can't remember. I don't think I put a link in yesterday's video yet. I put a bunch of all the other links that I promised. I don't think I did that one, but I will put a link to their videos here today. So I'll get on with Shan's live from last night, Mark's live, I think that was yesterday, and then the most current one, and then Haphoric. Am I saying that right? Haphoric. And yeah, I don't know if they made that word up or if I was going to Google it and see if it has a meaning. This is so telling. Okay, law enforcement, wake up. Right. Well, they were working on covering it up. Like Sam Brown accidentally on purpose said a whole bunch of times, the cover up at the boat ramp. I mean, we can thank him for that, right? Medical examiner in the Rust trial ruled accidental due to lack of intent. Oh my goodness, Mark, thank you for that info. Is that just in the trial today? Or is that, I mean, obviously that happened a couple of years ago, but is that something that they've been talking about today? That's annoying. But no, I mean, Alec Baldwin is a freaking millionaire superstar. Everybody is bowing down to his disgusting POS butt. And it wasn't accidental. You know, there's no such thing as an accidental gunfire. There's no such term as accidental gunfire, according to some people. It's called negligent gunfire. Because you can't accidentally fire a gun. I mean, you could argue it, of course, but the gun's not going to go off on its own. I don't even think if you drop it, it can go off on its own because of the safety. But, you know, they broke that gun a bunch of times. They did everything possible to see if there was any way in creation it could have gone off on its own because, you know, anything is possible in this world, and we don't want to pretend we know things that we don't know. Let's see. What did I miss? Hey, Annie Ruler, I missed you there. Hello, hello. Mark says, wow, watching now. Oh, the short. Is that what you're saying, Mark? Anna Bean, I understand I struggled with getting to sleep. I melatonized up and finally just tossed and turned. We knew a cover up. This is so telling. Okay, law enforcement, wake up. It's so telling. And, you know, I'm going back to thinking that it's a lot of the substance trafficking money, that if law enforcement is involved with that, allegedly, in the prison system, the Nevada County Sheriff, and then Scammy's parents that have all those federal contracts, and then maybe the Rodney Neiman family with Tony's track record. Who knows? But we know it's all about money. And where's the money going to come from? So it's very likely, in my opinion. Mark, you're using cursey words. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine by me. This is a situation where it's necessary. Medical examiner in the Rust trial ruled an accident due to lack of intent. Maybe why they called it accident. They all knew where the F she was. And when you say she, are you talking about Helena Hutchins? Because if you guys have watched the body cam footage yet, that I put a link to Crime Circus's video, I think it's his last one, with the body cam footage of the first responders when they first arrived and they rush in there. And that church is so tiny. I mean, I'm in a room right now that's like 8.5 feet by 9.5 feet. And the church is maybe only 3 or 4 times the size of this tiny room. So allegedly, Helena was standing, I believe, 3 feet away when Alec pulled the gun out, pointed it right at her, and he's been tape recorded live on camera saying in the days before and in the days after, that you never point a gun at anyone, that you never, ever, ever, ever point a gun at anyone. And let me just say, why the F did he think he needed to have a real gun anyway? Because all those douchebag people working on the set were out there playing with it in their free time, shooting. These people are freaking morons. Like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong, right? Sandra, it's so crazy. I was upset, but now I'm pissed off. Anna, I think we have every right to be. This is a beautiful kid, 16 years old, that they've tried so hard to cover it up. And thank goodness there's enough interest, and that we have this platform where we can keep talking about it. Even if nothing ever happens, we're going to give it our best shot, right? I mean, we're not going to quit talking about Kylie. I know I'm not going to. I know Mark's not going to. I know Shan's never going to. Squirrels on Fire, first and last, then Justice, A to Z, then me. Oh, look at you. You're so cute. I don't know what you're saying, like you're prioritizing. I appreciate that compliment. I think that these other channels too, like Illuminated Mind and Ninja Chihuahua and Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, the Honey Badger, and Ara and Euphoric. Did I say it right? And then there's a few others, and I apologize that I missed, like Kenny, Crime Watch with Kenny. He's done some amazing videos. He just hasn't been able to make any for a while. You guys that aren't content creators, sometimes we talk about how easy it is to do a YouTube channel, and other times we talk about how impossible it is to do a YouTube channel. And it's both. It is literally both. Like in some ways it's easy. Like right now in this moment, because you guys are here, it feels easy. But so much that goes into it and so much that can go wrong. And then you got your shadow banning, which again, take it as a compliment. Shan had so much technical difficulty last night. And some of that, I think she was copying to being that she was overloading her system. But some of it, I would believe that she was being shadow banned because she was hitting the nail on the head, and they don't like that. So they were, maybe the powers that be were creating like buffering and things like that. But she's had a lot of times where she gets dropped off of her own live. She's had everyone else getting dropped off of her live. And the thing is that we're not going to go away. We're not going to give up. And if they are tampering with it, all they're doing is giving themselves away. So for that, we thank them. Okay, so same here. Keep names simple, peeps. Mark, how far behind am I? Let's see. That was 126, and I'm almost 10 minutes behind. So let me try to power read and get caught up. But yeah, I think I'm learning just to try to keep everything as simple as possible. Things get complicated so quickly. Mark, I still don't think it was an accident. They were chasing her and hit her car on purpose. They can't lie about it anymore. Well, they can then say, oh, but then it was a car accident. You know, they don't have to talk about what was leading up to it, is their stupid argument. But yeah, yes, today, Mark is prioritizing. Okay. Oh, the rust thing. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Good, because yeah, I haven't caught any of the rust thing yet today. I actually caught some Rust Junkie right before I started. That's what was lingering me on to have to keep adjusting the time. Rust Junkie is at it too, and she's phenomenal. Anna Bean was at UCB, Craney, Katie Bug, or Mega Pints and Muffins that said in chat, it's flipping, and Craney announced it, and Shan rewound Zoom and slowed it down. Yeah, they were doing that a lot. I wasn't catching all of the chat. I don't even know if it was there yet today. It probably isn't, because YouTube takes like 24 hours usually to get your chat onto your live for the replay, for anyone who's not aware of that. Hi, Bex, Mom First. Hello, everyone. Just watched short, gave me the chills. Hey, dang it, Nancy. Yeah, I was fortunate to have enough chores around the house to watch the entire 3-hour video of Shan's while I was cleaning and doing all the fun stuff that us moms just love doing. If I have my YouTube, I'm good. Let's see. I'm pissed too. No charges at all. Right. And yeah, none. And scammies out there terrorizing Southern California. Annie Ruler says Alec was heavy critic of women cop wrestled with driver and grabbed wrong gun. Alec called her names. She is in prison where he belongs, in my opinion. Pulled the trigger. Yeah. Well, he likes to make himself look good. And he doesn't care about women. I mean, like the trial right now is all about trying to pin this on Hannah Gutierrez. I did some homework last night because in my video yesterday, I said I really don't know what the goal of the trial is. But now I know. I did a lot of research last night. His trial starts July 9th or 7th, sorry. It stinks to have no new content. Oh, but Mark, we do have new content. Too much, but I would rather have too much than not enough. And yeah, when you don't feel like you have any new content, then yeah, you don't want to be making videos, and that is a challenge. I never want a channel, but posted a fun older man dancing video. Oh, where did you post it? Like on Facebook or on YouTube? If you want to point us in that direction, Annie Ruler. Raised from Perdition 2 has a video that I will put the link to in today's video description. It's kind of silly. It's just like hard rock, but it's cute. And she, I think that Raised from Perdition is a she. They are awesome. And Mark, you've probably done some follow-up learning more about that situation with the trans kid that died. It sounds like that trans kid was born with a female gender assignment and was transitioning into male, but they were still using the female bathroom when those 3 girls went in there and beat her up. Unbelievable. And again, we need to focus on that being a freaking hate crime so that those girls can burn in HE double hockey sticks, and so can all of the school board administration that's tried to cover for them, because we have a deceased child. It's disgusting. Blonde Gypsy, what up? Let's see, what have I missed? Annie Ruler says, Mark, some creators replay old videos, read articles, we see new things or are reminded all the time. Totally, Annie Ruler. Absolutely. Yeah, I actually put a link in my description from yesterday's video of one of the Rust videos that I made like a year ago. I struggle with the cams. If you believe them, the poor girl was there the whole time, but you can't believe them and think she was put in there later. Yeah, Blonde Gypsy, I struggle with that too. I haven't had time to process it all. So if she was in the water from that moment, that night, August 6th, 7th, then she would have been in the water for a couple of weeks, and I think she would have been trigger warning, and not trying to be crass, but I do think she would have been fish food, right? I mean, there would have been a lot more decomposition, and so, yeah, it's hard to say. Like here's a disgusting thought. Again, trigger warning. Maybe she was unalived, or maybe they rescued her and took her out, deceased or alive, and then, I don't know, put her back. I mean, that's nuts. This whole freaking thing is nuts. And yeah, it's a lot to digest. So ignore what I just said. I don't know what to think. My head is just freaking spinning, literally, figuratively, literally, right? Um, but yeah, very, very good comment. Thank you. Annie Ruler, I have commented on every one of Dee Dee's I've seen too. Drip Drop. Yeah, you guys, my last video, that the live that Drip Drop was doing, he does these like premiere lives, and I was in the chat and I was saying hi to you, Annie Ruler, and you were ignoring me. I'm not even kidding you. I tagged you and said, hi, Annie Ruler. I thought, okay, well, maybe she's busy, but nobody was responding to any of my comments. And so I emailed Drip Drop and was like, hey, I'm just wondering if I might be blocked. And if that was accidentally or on purpose, I don't know what I said, but it's like, I don't really care if somebody feels like they need to block me. I'm not going to take it personally. And he said that he hadn't blocked me. And I thought, well, he was, I think, the one who mentioned shadow banning when he responded. He was good too. He responded right away. I really appreciated that. But yeah, I had some really good comments in his chat, and everybody was ignoring my brilliant comments. So I took a lot of notes, and I was planning to put it all in a video. And yeah, I'm trying to think like what the main takeaway was. There was so much. My brain is just kind of going a million miles an hour right now. So let me stay with my goal right here of trying to get caught up with you guys so I don't feel that pressure. Thank you, beautiful. You get me off my arse and started yoga again. Dang it, Nancy. You just made my day. Oh, I am so excited for you. It is the best gift we can give ourselves. I mean, I've never been so in love with yoga. I used to kind of look at it like a chore, but it is like giving yourself a hug. And any time you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. And any position or movement or pose that an instructor is recommending, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it or modify it. Those are your choices, to just be still or to do something different. But don't ever push yourself to do anything that you don't want to do, especially if it's beyond your level of expertise. You don't want to hurt yourself, but you also want to keep yourself inspired. So like if you're trying something that's too challenging and you feel like you're falling down and making a fool of yourself in public in a class, you might just decide you don't feel like doing that anymore. So just be super easy on yourself. I've made a fool of myself on my video camera for you guys, and I don't care, because that's part of yoga, is just, accepting yourself and accepting other people, meeting yourself and meeting other people right where they're at. And yeah, we all need to take care of ourselves. So I'm so excited for you. Dang it, Nancy. Thank you for that feedback. And I'm going to just give you the credit. I'm glad that I inspired you, but you're the one who took the inspiration. So thank you. Okay, I'm still catching up. Blonde Gypsy, hi. Winner. Oh, is she the one that won the 2 shirts in a row last night? That was cool. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jazzy. Hi, Mark. Hey, Michael. Annie, no words with friends in prison? Where am I? What am I missing? No words with friends in prison. Annie, fill me in as I'm trying to get caught up, please. That was what, 8 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago? 8 minutes. So I'm doing it. I'm getting caught up. Mark, hypocrite to even fight it. Why he did worse than the cop that didn't grab the taser? Oh, I've seen so much BS with that type of stuff, you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. In real life, not on the boob tube, but in real life. Yes, congratulations, Blonde Gypsy, for that awesome Double Jeopardy shirt winner. Oh, and weren't they larges? And one of them was a berry, or was it extra large? Because, yeah, I like extra large. And I love berry. That's a great color. Let's see. Where did it jump to? Annie Ruler, YouTube has my video, will likely use a different email to keep vultures away from my current hometown. Yes, definitely. I recommend that for sure. Especially because you're in so many chats and you're so spot on. I would think you are a higher risk, like a content creator for sure. I read your comment wrong, Sandra. I think it was Mega Pints in the chat that said to rewind. Okay. Yeah, I was so glad that they were doing that rewinding. Yeah, I go back and forth about the cams. I've always thought they were utter, complete BS. And the fact that mainstream media and law enforcement never really addressed them, I think indicates that they are BS. But also, SF Investigates being the source that, sorry about that phone ringing if it didn't get canceled out by the noise. That was one of my mods who I texted that I was going on live. Maybe she didn't see my text. Or maybe it's a big emergency. If it is, she can come into my live and tell me. Big emergency, call me. Wrap up your live and call me. She probably just didn't see the text. Let's see. I fell asleep last night and haven't gotten to watch. Did I win? Blonde Gypsy, I agree. Too many video cheaters with camera, people, and clocks. That's funny. I'm going to highlight that one. I hope you won in your sleep. That'd be cool. Maybe she got out of the car during the hit. Or maybe she wasn't in the car and that was like plan A. And they were crashing her car for her. I mean, I think there was drugs involved, you guys. I should have said rugs with a D. I think there were rugs involved and that these kids are just completely insane. I think that there was the soda pop named rug involved. And I think that there was the magical things that grow in the woods probably involved. Obviously, pot, but that's not illegal. But if you're underage, it's illegal out there even. So, and obviously, most likely the alcohol. And, just like they would always say in my science classes when I was a kid in Southern California, they would say, don't mix rugs and alcohol. And they were right. I had to discover that the hard way. Do not mix your rugs and your alcohol, kids and grown-ups alike. Not a good idea. Let's see. Now, every time I say, Mark, I think of you and I catch myself and I'm like, don't, not again. Don't. Is that what was gruesome, Mark? I know. I think that it was a fist fight. I think that was gruesome. And I think that there was essays involved and that was gruesome. I don't like to say that, and I should have given another trigger warning before saying that, but we all know what happens at parties. And if she was compromised, if Kylie's cognizance was compromised, that's what disgusting people do, is assault in the most intimate manner with women when they're compromised. I don't like to say it. I don't like to think it. I wish it wasn't true. It's disgusting. In my opinion, anybody who does that should be taken out back and put out of their misery. I mean, I got no tolerance. It's so gross. It's like that whole Brock Turner thing. Disgusting. Absolutely sick MFs. And they are our system is so lenient on essays. Oh, unless you're married to D.A. Rourke, or if you're going to marry him in 10 years, then your essay will get 24 years in prison. And so what are they going to do when that guy gets out of jail? Because it might be getting close. Ooh, creepy, huh? Creepy. Sorry to jump cases there, but you know how the squirrels are. Okay. Annie Ruler says, I agree. Too many. I don't know if I highlighted this one or read it or missed it or what. Hold on. Blonde Gypsy, I agree. Too many video cheaters with cameras, people, and clocks, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I did read that. I don't remember if I highlighted it. It sucks thinking of things. Yeah, it does. And the truth needs to come out, no matter how gruesome. I'm blocking all of you guys. I love it. No, I took it as a compliment that Drip Drop blocked me, but he hadn't. And I was glad that he hadn't. But I thought, if he did, that's okay. I'm not going to take it personally. It could have been one of his mods. I'm thinking that it was probably the gaslighting people that do the shadow banning, because I think I'm heavily shadow banned, and I think that my opinion about some things is spot on, and that when I'm shadow banned, it only confirms for me that my opinion about some things is spot on. Not to get the cart ahead of the horse, right? Let's see, where are we? How did I miss a bunch of this? Where? My goodness. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a whole 10 minutes behind. You guys are so chatty. I can't keep up with you, but you got some great comments. So thank you. Thanks everybody for being here. And yeah, I'll do my thumb and all that as soon as I get caught up. I promise. I'm sure you missed the thumb, right? Blonde Gypsy says the moving cameras just happen to be pointed in the exact direction at just the right moment. What's the odds? It makes me hard to believe them. Right. And they could have been made later. And there are 2 dates on the video, right? Yes, was a big wreck on Squirrels on Fire last night. Was crazy stuff watching with Kylie's CRV flipping over and over again. Right, but from that distance, we have no idea if it even was a CRV. That could have been staged. Annie Ruler says, I have been muted. Maybe I was listening. Sometimes I do chores, sounds muted to have muted me, and it is their mods, in my opinion. Well, Annie, you're so smart that I could see some content creators maybe feeling threatened by you. I wouldn't. I love when you're smarter than me. So please show me up with all your brilliance, because you have a lot of real life experience, and I think you have more real life experience that's relevant to these cases than I do. And I have a lot of real life experience that's relative to these cases, stuff I've seen with my own eyes when I worked in the courts in Seattle, people that I've known that have been redrummed, people, all kinds of things, my family members that are in military and that are first responders. And then me being a mental health first responder, basically back there in Washington State 25 years ago, the county designated mental health professional, crisis and commitment evaluation stuff that I did back then. It was like the brain police. That's what we called ourselves. I have a couple of baseball caps that say that on them, but I don't think I've ever shown them to you guys, but look what I found today. Remember the sociopath? That was one of my first hats. And what was the other one I found, you guys? You're going to love this. Are you ready? Justice with the little fox reading the book. Okay, putting the hats away. I'm still getting caught up. Oh, look at me. I'm not plugged in with my mic. Okay. I am so sorry, you guys. Does this make the sound better? I just plugged in the mic and I had it handy so that I wouldn't do that. but then I was watching videos on my laptop, so I had it unplugged so I could listen to the videos. So annoying. I'm sorry if the sound was crappy. I'll tell you what, though, yesterday I didn't have the mic the whole time, and it wasn't that crappy when I reviewed the tape. But I am still trying to get caught up. I'm just glad that I figured that out by whacking the cord with the hats. Okay. And Michael says, have a wonderful day today. And Mark's blocking everyone. Yeah, that's because he asked for all the trolls to sub up and they did. And now he's had enough. Remember the audio video guy for MPD was fired December 7th? Elantra Day, fired for accessing videos not being investigated. Was he going to tell they altered them? Oh, so are you talking about the Moscow PD, Annie? I didn't know this about the audio video guy getting fired on December 7th, but I would believe that what you just said is accurate. And now I'm going to have to block you. Of course, I'm kidding. Let's see. Anna Bean, I thought it was you that first said it in chat. Good eye. Annie Ruler says, Alec in early 2000s was disciplined on a plane in first class. They told him airplane mode. He yelled, I am just playing words with friends. He's such a prick, man. He is just the worst. Alex is a pump AS, in my opinion. LOL. Yes, CB agreed 100%. And let's see. So close to getting caught up. Check out the video. We have early music in Cabo for old people, young too, but we can be home by dark. I'm lost. What is the topic? Hey, Kathy Jean. Mostly we're talking about Kylie still, but we're jumping around like to the Rust case with Alec Baldwin and a tiny bit to Moscow just now. And then a little bit to Maui also. That's how we do it here. So my apologies if it bothers you. And, it's just the real life brain, right? Staying on topic is such a chore, although it is fun to challenge myself with that. And thanks for dropping in, Kathy Jean, if you're still here and can hear that. Nice to see you. Take care. Let's see. Glass on the beach. Was it where it was found? Yeah, that's so much of that whole situation was staged. What if the cams was real and they did not want to bring attention to it is why the CHP report is taking so long? Right, Mark. I think it was Craney at one point towards the end of the video who was saying how this whole thing was just such a distraction. And I think she was talking about the fire cam footage that SF Investigates released onto the internet. Meg is on the attack. LOL. Oh, she's such a freaking nut. I like to call her Nutmeg or MC Ultra because she loves the gaslighting. Can they put the airbags back into the car after they deployed? I think that they can repack them. Or they can buy new ones and put them in, right? Anna Bean? I'm pretty sure. Because, yeah, her airbags didn't go off, right? Is that what you're getting at? Is Upper Road, and then every site, including the camp host, would have heard that. Good point, CB. Yeah, the whole thing is probably staged. Because, yeah, where did that video come from that Shan got, and how come we hadn't seen it before? Maybe it was a trick to say, oh, look, squirrel's on fire. Look at this video. I mean, just like it was in the beginning when the videos came out and they were sent to everybody and they were infecting people's computer systems with viruses. And yeah, they were totally to trick people, in my opinion, and to torch their systems. So they'd have to get new ones, and that takes so much time. Where are we? Promise only a dancing channel, maybe. My PTSD brain can't organize. Oh, I'm so sorry, Annie Ruler. PTSD is rough, but it makes us who we are too. And I'm actually grateful for the stupid BS traumas that I've endured that have contributed to making me who I am today, because I like who I am. So it's sometimes rough, but it is what it is. And so it is. Whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. That's one of my favorites. Anyway, Kylie Case is going to take the whole village to put it together. Sandra, that's a nice quote. Takes a village. What sound? LOL. Yes, all good either way. So many questions. Well, there's definitely a car flipping after being hit on the fire cam. I think so, Anna Bean. I definitely saw that with my eyeballs. Anna, I see it. Leads to more questions. LOL. Good point on the last location. Nope, they can't repack. Has to be pulled and no one heard. Wow, good point. Mark, thank you so much for doing your fact checking. Like maybe you knew that off the top of your head. Maybe you were Googling. I know you're just really good with the hard facts. Just the facts, ma'am. I believe the steering wheel breaks, expensive reinstalling, in my opinion. I believe the steering wheel breaks, expensive reinstallation, in my opinion. Yeah, that sounds about right, Annie Ruler. Shan got it from the fire cams. Well, that would lead you to believe that it's authentic, but I think that those fire cam systems were effed with from go. So I don't trust those systems, even though they are like federal systems or something. I think that there was all kinds of effery going on there. But that's good that that's where she got it, for sure. Fake photo of Kylie. Which one, Mark? Oh, the one that's not Kylie? The Kylie, not Kylie? Airbags were not out when pulled car out. Yeah, maybe that was one of the mistakes that they made. Was that the redacted version or original? Anyone know? Good question, Sandra. Look at me. I'm almost caught up. Nobody comment. I'm just kidding. Sandra, in a village that doesn't want the truth, in my opinion. Yeah, Dragnet Mark, LOL. Yeah, Joe Friday. He's my favorite. Jack Webb, man. He was an actor with Brando in The Men, the movie that Brando won his Oscar for? Or did he win his Oscar for On the Water? Anyway, Jack Webb played in a movie with Brando. He took his money and started Dragnet because he was really into educating the public about police work and true crime. And I love Jack Webb. He's my man. He is awesome. Is that right? He's just so acerbic. Is that right? And then the other guy is so funny. Okay. And dang it, Nancy says, wow, that's deep. Embracing PTSD reminds me of the song Blame It on My ADD. I don't know that song. But yeah, it's been good talking about my traumatic incident with you guys and talking about it in my yoga teacher training class too. And just, I've had a ton of new awarenesses around it. And I'm really appreciative of that. So thank you, everybody who's paid attention and helped me get to the next level. Because honestly, I didn't know that I had a next level to get to. That's one of the things that's so fascinating about PTSD. I've been working on that my whole life, like 45 years. I don't know that I've been working on it for 45 years, because for the first 10 years, I really tried not to think about it. It would come up sometimes and I would try not to think about it. That's when I smoked a lot of pot, to be quite frank. in my teenage years, from the time I was like 16 to 22, and then I haven't smoked since then. Believe it or not, seriously, it was my rug of choice, and it was really bad for me. Yeah, I'd be toast in this day and age where it's so easy to come by and legal in some states. I would move to a state where it was legal, and I'd just be lost in a Cheech and Chong fog. I'd be cooking with it every meal, okay? Just being honest. It'd be bad. Let's see. Airbags deploy on front impact. I would think side impact, front impact. Can the airbags be turned off or disconnected, Mark? Good question, Sandra. I'm pretty sure they can. Dang it, Nancy. Left my arse off and new ADHD with my RSD CRPS. YouTube is my friend. I don't know the RSD and CRPS letters. I don't know what they stand for. Yes, fake photo of Sammy, Kylie, and can put out fake video cams. Exactly, Mark. And see, that's the thing with the YouTube. I think that the powers that be want to screw with YouTubers. They want to screw with the integrity of the platform because the platform has the power to take the power out of the corrupt individuals in our government, because we can spread truth and we can examine things. And the people that are in these positions of power that are corrupt, they don't want to let go of that. So they would rather just destroy the whole platform so they can keep doing what they're doing. Right? Makes sense to me. I don't think they can be turned off easily or removed. They don't want people to be able to do that, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe not easily, but there's always hackers. A whole fake case, Mark. Yes. CB, yes, all fake and so many guilty. I think you can turn off passenger one, but not driver's side. Well, I know it's optional to purchase the passenger side when you get a new car, which we used to make jokes about, like married couples, like, nah, it's not worth it. That's a really bad joke. Anyway, for my grandson, I had to keep a spare key in car to turn off his airbag front impact. Some accidents with side damage do not deploy bags. Oh, good to know. Because, yeah, those airbags, if people aren't tall enough, trigger warning, I'm pretty sure they can decapitate people, right? I mean, they can be extremely dangerous. And Debbie, I don't know how to say that other than, I think I'm just going to go with Debbie. If car engine is off, will airbags go off? Another good question. A very good question. I would think so because, what if you were parked on a bridge and you were sitting in the car and then the bridge crumbled? I don't know. I know my 2008 truck has a dash button for the passenger side. Like, oops, today might not be your lucky day. Oh, that's too funny. Right. And that's another thing. It's hard to keep up with all the changes in the technology. Phew, you guys, we're almost an hour in and I finally got caught up. I've been trying to keep up with you this whole time. If the car engine is off, will the airbags go off? Okay, I read that one. All right. So where shall I start with my notes? If you guys will just give me a chance to get to my notes. I had so many good things I wanted to share, but that's cool. I love you. And I can do my thumb now and all that, show you my subscribe sign. Show you my armadillo that my son made. Can you see it? It's kind of hard with this light. Maybe if I put it with the white in the back. So this is one of the things that he 3D printed, you guys, my crazy 16-year-old. But he got that 3D printer a few years ago, maybe when he was like 13 or 14. And he's made all kinds of cool stuff. And the whole thing just prints like this. Like, you get the program, but you have to be like a little wizard to operate the thing. I would have no idea how to print anything. Anyway, I was going to show you my sign. Subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell, and look, it's even got the thumbs up right on it. So I don't have to show you the creepy thumb, but I think I will opt to show you the creepy thumb anyway, because I love it. Because I told you guys when I saw it in the store, see, it has these like hook things so you can put it on the wall and then use it to hang your coat on or something. But yeah, I broke it. But when I saw these in the store, I was like, oh my God, like who would even, what? And then I thought about it and I was like, oh, I need one. And I was so happy to go and buy one because they only had 2 of them. And I would have bought them both if they were both still there, but I was lucky enough to get one. But it was hilarious because when I saw it, I was like, ew, what in the world? And then I went home and I thought about it and I was like, oh, I better go back and buy that before it's gone. Okay. Let's say no key in engine. Yeah, I don't know. With no key in the engine, I would still think maybe, because you could be sitting in the car, like say you're parking in New York City, you turn your car off, or you get in, you're about to go somewhere, but you haven't put your key in the ignition yet, and then you get crashed into. I would think that the airbags might deploy, but I don't know. I honestly don't. I bet somebody in chat would know. Mark, do you know? Okay, so should we switch gears? I mean, this whole first hour has been nothing but Kylie, and I'm glad. I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of trying to make light of it. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Was it one of Ninja Chihuahua's most recent ones? I think it was. I'll find it and put the link in the description, where MC Ultra is talking about there being all of a sudden 3,000 people that night of the party at Boca. And is she just like pulling things out of her rear end? Is she slipping up? Because again, she says Boca, not Prosser. But it was interesting in that video. Ninja says that she has heard, and I've never heard this, I haven't done any research on it, that the number 3 is often used by liars. And I thought that was interesting, since 300 was kind of the number that Scammy got stuck on when she started with like 100 people, and then over 100, and then 150, and then 200, and then 300, and I think it's even been 400 at times, but it's kind of stuck at the 300. And Mark says, don't know. According to Google, they will not deploy if engine has been off or battery disconnected. Oh, yeah, I would think battery disconnected for sure. But yeah, that's really good to know. And again, the genius son, he would probably know because he works for a mechanic. He's a little apprentice at a mechanic joint. I'm just coming in. Jackie Bushable, nice to see you. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Hello, how's your day going? Fake everything. 1:47 a.m. August 6th. Thank you, Mega Pints and Muffins, for answering that question. So 1:47 is the point on those fire cams that Shan was replaying the car accident. Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, the Honey Badger, is here. In order for the sensor to be set, the key is a must. Good to know. How are you? How are you doing? Yeah, I've been trying to drop into your chats as much as I can. I do lurk quite a bit when I'm like driving or something, so you might not know that I'm there. I try to say hello when I'm there so that people know. I don't want to be like covert about my lurking. And yeah, it was you in chat last night that told Shan to rewind, correct? Mega Pints and Muffins. Nope, you are holding up today. Hope you're holding up today. Oh, is something going on? I remember, was that last night or the night before when you got off of the panel with Shan? That must have been the night before last. And yeah, I was hoping that you were okay and that it wasn't anything that anybody said that was hitting you in a bad way, because I know you were stating your opinion and you might be right. You absolutely could 100% positively be right that our dear Ms. Kylie Rodney passed that night, August 6th, August 7th, 1 a.m. You absolutely could be right. And then there's a lot of speculation by myself and others that maybe she was fatally injured that night, but didn't pass for a few days. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but I remember the conversation, and then you were like, I need to go. So I hope everything is good with you, my dear. Absolutely. Let's see. Good. She says she's okay. Mrs. G, you're in my prayers. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, it's hard if some of what you're dealing with, and I don't know, might be the visions that you have and the, like visceral response that you have. It's really hard to deal with that and have people understand what it is that you're dealing with. I know, I don't know if you consider yourself psychic, but I know for a lot of people that have psychic tendencies that can be really tough. So, all right, you guys, do you mind if we switch gears over to Rust? Because I did really want to talk about it, but if there's anything else you guys want to talk about with Kylie, please do. No, I don't see myself that way. All right, good to know. Good to know. Sandra says removing the fuse for the safety system will deactivate all safety functions and airbags. Yes, that makes sense. Let's see. So in the Rust trial that's happening right now, I think today is day 4, Hannah Gutierrez is being charged with manslaughter. Like, she was charged a year ago, but this is the trial, I believe, for the manslaughter charges. Also tampering with evidence, you guys. Allegedly, apparently, she hid some of the rug that's named after a soft drink. You know what I'm talking about. The white stuff, which she handed it off to somebody, and I don't know if that's the short that Drip Drop made of the one guy dropping something into his pocket that got caught on body cam. That might be. I don't know. So the manslaughter charges against Alec B were dropped last year, but he's still being sued by Helena Hutchins' family and her sister. So her husband, Matthew Hutchins, he is an attorney, and he reached a settlement with Baldwin. And part of that settlement was that he was one of or the executive producer to finish creating the rest of the movie that his wife passed away on the set of. But I believe that July 7th is the wrongful death against Alec Baldwin for the lawsuit that's been filed by her family. So I don't know if Matthew might have dropped out of that because he did his settlement thing. And so it's like her parents and her sister. I'm not sure. But that's my understanding, is that this trial right now is for Hannah Gutierrez. And then the trial for Baldwin is coming up on July 7th. 1 second. What's going on here? Oh, weird. So one of my mods is lurking on my live, but she's gotten kicked off. Again, take it as a compliment. If the powers that be are messing with my little tiny itty bitty channel, I don't know. Maybe when I bring up Alec, maybe, I mean, with him being a movie star, I could see him having close ties with the powers that be with the YouTube. Him and his wife, Hilaria, they are social media moguls, and they will make like an 8-minute video of anything stupid that they feel like, and they will make bank. Like, I don't know, I'm just pulling a number out of thin air, like $1 million for an 8-minute video of her humiliating him that he's a bad husband and a bad father, which I would think that he is, just a guess. But I'm pretty sure that his ex-wife thinks that, but then again, most ex-spouses think that. Anyway, do they have more than 6 kids now? Does anyone know? Or did they stop at 6? Because I was appalled in one of the videos that Drip Drop put out. It's got some audio recording of one of the investigators calling Alec to do some follow-up interviewing and trying to set up to meet with him in person. And he's trying to set up to meet by Zoom. And they're like, no, Zoom isn't going to work. And he's trying to say that, he's got all these babies. He's got these 6 little kids, so he just can't get away. This is after the fact. This is months later. And so he's in Vermont with Hilaria, who's hilarious with her fake name and her fake Spanish accent and all that. It's just ridiculous that he's trying to use having all these children as an excuse for basically not cooperating with law enforcement for the interview. I mean, somebody passed away on his set at his hand, feet away from him. Only a couple of feet, maybe 3. I'm pretty sure that that's what I've heard. So you guys, I was trying to do research to look into like the day of the week that this accident or negligent gunfire happened that killed Helena Hutchins on the rest set in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It was October 21st of 2021, right? And that was a Thursday. So I think that it was a Thursday that it happened, because yesterday in my video, I was talking about all the events leading up to that there had been a strike by the crew because they felt like it was an unsafe work environment. People had been complaining about, I think, 2 or 3 other times that there was live rounds in the gun and that maybe it fired negligently. I'm not sure, but nobody got hurt those other times. And then there was the whole thing with the sleeping arrangements and the hotel rooms being so far away. So people were upset, and Alec didn't care. And so people quit. And then he's trying to finish the movie, making of the movie. And Helena's trying to help get that accomplished. And so she solved the problem. She thought she solved the problem with the budgetary concerns for having more expensive hotel accommodations closer to the work site. And people were trying to get the ball rolling with the filming when Alec pulled the gun out, pointed it right at her from close range, and shot her in her right armpit. And then it went through her, came out her left shoulder, and then it went into Joel Sousa, who was on the other side of her. So he might still have outstanding lawsuits too. I don't know. Maybe he settled. But I know he was extremely upset about almost losing his life because of this stupid incident. Okay, let's see. What did I miss? Stay alive for me, Mega Pints. That's a good thing to bring up, talking about the Kylie Rodney case and Jägermeister's tattoo that he put on his own arm. We need that CHP report. I honestly don't think it's ever going to happen, the CHP report. I think that's part of the effery. And Annie Ruler says, yes, Rust. It's illegal. I want the report on Black Box. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my bad. Thanks, all of you. And she brought the box from home. Me too, Mrs. G. That young defendant looks scared. Look, who left the bullets? Right. I mean, she was not taking her job very seriously, in my opinion, but also she was given additional responsibilities as they were trying to keep a tight budget. And so that was distracting her from her armory duties, is what the defense is saying, basically. And let's see. Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, the honey badger. Why would the armor bring a box just like the one on set? OMG. Yeah, it's a really good question, isn't it, Divine? I like to call you Mrs. G, but Divine works too, right? I got booted 2 times and it would just start from the beginning. Are you talking about the video, CB? Are you talking about right here, right now? Because again, I'll take that as a huge freaking compliment. That's crazy. Let me highlight that and then try to get caught up again. Let's see. I was raised that you treat every gun as it is loaded. Right. We were all raised that way. And you never, ever, ever point a firearm at a person or an animal. Never, ever, no matter what. That's how you have gun safety. He'll get off with paying money and he will whine about it too. Yeah, I agree, Sandra. It's all about him. He's such a pig. Such a pig. And Google sure assists politically when they can. Facebook too. Why are we tolerating censorship? Don't they? Yeah. And then the channels that they push, like I was trying to look up something today and it was, I'm trying to remember what it was. I was trying to look up. It was right before I came on. I think it was Brush Junkie. And so I would type in B and it would go to blue collar Bitcoin, just with the letter B, blue collar Bitcoin. I'm like, oh, so that's what you're pushing today, huh? Because I've never looked up anything like that, blue collar or Bitcoin. I'm just trying to find my Brush Junkie. She is on it with her new video of the waves going backwards. And yeah, she's been shadow banned too, big time. Let's see. It's odd that part of the GIL film crew quit. Yeah, the film crew quit, but then they were coming back and they were trying to get filming when the incident happened. So they hadn't filmed in a few days. So when this happened on a Thursday, I don't know if the last time they filmed was Wednesday or Monday or what day. Does anybody know? I know that there was frustration with trying to get things going again. YouTube creators ought to all strike one day, load Rumble or some other neutral site. Oh, that's funny, Any Ruler. I love it. That is funny. Yeah, censorship's ridiculous. Censorship is going through the Supreme Court presently. Oh, good to know. I did not know this. CB, they were thinking I ain't hanging around to be next. Hey, Jazz in chat. Hello, Mom First Always. Lovely to see you. It's the law. They have to do a CHP, not optional. Right, but they haven't done it yet. And they can just keep dragging arse. I mean, that's what I think. They're just going to keep postponing it. For, it's just like a college kid procrastinating writing their term paper. Like they're just going to drag it out. They're never going to do it. And then they're going to get an F and then they're still going to have to do it, but they still won't. So I know it's not optional, but they invent the rules as they go there in Truckee, where they speak Truckanese. They quit the day before, Sandra, and to take, Divine Justice says, I bet they will use, corporations can do what they want, but when those companies want financial assistance, and it says Bidet's words, I think you probably meant Biden, just like Kylie, Lindsay left door open. Interesting. Just like Kylie, Lindsay left door open. I'll have to replay, but from what I hear, I agree. It's the way to help keep your kids safe. Google Home devices speaking at random times with little kids' voices saying hello, wrecked. Oh, that's creepy AF. I know. I don't like having all these electronic gadgets that tape record everything because, the powers that be are spying on us. But then on the other hand, maybe there's some safety in that too, right? Like if something vile happens, then it's like our cell phones have it recorded, our laptops have it recorded, our Alexa or our other thing. We don't need to mention her name. Siri. I don't have either one in the room right now, so I'm okay. I'd start breaking stuff if it's talking to us, like I have seen in videos. Xena. Oh, I love it when people call me Xena Harshwan. That's cute. Oh, and I was gonna find the first video that I was in with Watsy Obsession when she had me as a special guest, and I was going to post it. Maybe I'll post it on my community tab because I want to rewatch that. I thought it was a really good video at the time. I don't know if I think that anymore. Let's see. I meant bidet as a joke. Oh, like bidet, like the things that clean. Make sure you guys hit that like button and tap the emoji on the right as many times as you can. It will help Jazz back into the algorithm. Oh, does the heart thing help the algorithm? I had no idea. I thought it was just for happy vibes. Yeah, please and thank you, Mega Pints. That's good information. I had no clue. That's wild. We tried to teach our children how to be safe, but they know tech more than we do. I used to agree souls would prove me innocent, but my belief in fact gets me censored on FV. Did you mean YouTube? Did you mean Facebook? I'm not sure. That's what I heard. I was born with a Alexa. Don't need them. Oh, that's funny. Last night during Shan's live, it was hitting me. Yeah, I know. I watched it this morning, Mrs. G. I watched the entire thing before I came on, and I was practically in tears. I know that you can understand that. So also, I wanted to re-mention what I mentioned yesterday. One of the most profound things that I had been typing into Crime Circus's chat in his last live that was blocked was that Alec Baldwin's father was a shooting coach for 28 years when Alec was growing up. So his father, I believe, was a full-time employee at a high school there in Amityville, New York, on Long Island. And the Baldwin brothers' mother was a stay-at-home mom. But his father was also the shooting coach for 28 years. So that leads me to believe that Mr. Baldwin would know a lot more about guns than he's letting on. So I know that he has spoken very negatively about guns in the past, which again is interesting since he grew up with his dad being a shooting coach. Pretty wild. I was really surprised to find that. I still think Kylie died before Yeah, I think that you could very well be accurate in that, Mrs. G, 100%. I get censored everywhere. I meant Facebook, though. Well, yeah, you get censored because you're too sharp, girl. So, again, just take it as a compliment. But it does suck. The censorship sucks. Thanks for the reminder on the Dubai. They're putting stuff in TP for the love of God. And Jackie Bushable says, and I'm not sure if you're adding that to something that you already said, Jackie Bushable, or if you were starting to type and it hit send before you were ready. Minutes prior, or maybe after midnight, like 3 minutes after, when Life 360 shut down. Yeah. The whole thing is just creepy AF. It's creepy that Scammy's been protected. It's creepy that the whole town is trying to brush it under the rug. It's just insane. How does Alec feel about Jewish people? I never understand the hate, but a question. Well, and remember too that Helena Hutchins was from you know what country she's from. Help me out here. Why am I drawing a blank? The country that's at war. The country that we keep sending all of our money to. The country that Zanime is from, and the country that Zanime helped refugees. So Helena Hutchins, her family was still back there. Should I Google it, or will somebody type it into the chat? I'm just totally doing a brain fart because here we are almost 2 hours in. I also want to mention, so my mod got back into the video, got kicked off again, and back to the beginning. That is so weird. Ukraine. Thank you, CB. That's awesome. But I'm glad I picked up my phone and saw that, because otherwise I'd think that my mod just didn't love me and didn't want to be here. So yeah, when the incident happened with Alec Baldwin out there in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that was right before the war, wasn't it? In October of 2021. I'm pretty sure that it was before this whole thing started. And let's see. I'm going to ask Google the date Ukrainian war started. Oh, February 20th, 2014, but that's the Russia-Ukrainian war. So the Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th, 2022. So, but the war with them started 2014. So anyway, we got involved after February 2022. Yeah, I didn't think it had been that long. Let's see. Jackie Bushable says, we call her the elf on the shelf. I'm not sure who you're talking about, elf on the shelf. I would say in some of the amazing pictures of Helena Hutchins with her hair really blonde and really short, she kind of looks like she could be the elf on the shelf in a very adorable kind of way with the little pixie cut. Maybe it was time for Mr. Baldwin to pay the piper, take care, back to family stuff. Thanks, Mom, first always, for coming in. Dang it, Nancy, putting what in TP? Do share. Where'd you go, Mark? He might have had to go take his dog out or something. I have no idea if they're Jewish. That is an interesting question, Annie Ruler. Is it something that somebody wants to Google? That would be interesting. And her husband, Matthew Hutchins, I don't know. Unless you turn off your Life 360, then the iPhone will be able to locate your phone for up to 30 minutes. What the actual F, Truckee? Good point. Harsh one. Oh, so I was going to say that yesterday I got onto a True Crime Rocket Science live right as he was wrapping up, and he'd been on for almost 9 hours, you guys. That's pretty amazing. Reminds me of Shan. He said he wasn't expecting to do a long live and that he would have never thought he would ever do a 9-hour live, but it just kind of happened. So I think he was doing a live because of the whole thing with Rust, because he's done a lot of good coverage on the Rust thing. He does a lot of good coverage, period. Let's see. Dang it, Nancy, do tell. Yes, please. And I'm going to need to be wrapping up soon, you guys. Maud must have pissed someone off telling you Google is fun, but no free speech against government narrative, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Annie Ruler. And yeah, the Maud might have had too sharp of some comments on my chat or somebody else's, right? Could be. Right before the Russian Olympic with China was over. Yeah. And yes, hit that like button. I'll show you the creepy thumb one more time. First week was about ethnicity. Annie Ruler, what you talking about, girlfriend? Hey now, I did a 44. Yeah. Thank you, Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, for reminding me that you did that 44-hour live. That wasn't that long ago. That was hilarious. My YouTube is acting all crazy. Got to shut down and restart. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, let me look at my notes here and see if there was anything else. Again, I say that word and I think of Mark. So in his last video, he said something about him being, people maybe thinking he's crazy because he can't let the Kylie thing go. And I took note of that because, of course, people could see anybody as crazy for not letting something go. But when you know it's not right, you know it's not right. And who's the freaking crazy one? I'd say the crazy people are the ones who let it go, because history has a way of repeating itself, and who's going to be next, right? And it's always good to keep an open mind and question that, you know, maybe we're not on target. Maybe we are off target. I think it's good to keep an open mind about that, not to doubt ourselves, but to question and to leave room for error, because we will all make errors. There's always going to be that. But I would say that none of us can let Kylie's case go, because we know it's a pile of horse crap. 100% horse crap, right? From the ground up. Am I right? If you think I'm right, put a 1 in the chat. I'm kind of kidding, because I don't think you'd be here if you didn't think that that was the way it is. Let's see. Harsh Beyond hates the guy with 7 to 8 hour lives. So I saw that Harsh was in a pickle some more with Steve G. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. So yeah, there was a lot of what I call pissing contests with those two, True Crime Rocket Science and the other one. And I just say, let it go, people. Like, different strokes for different folks. It's nice if you can feel camaraderie with other content creators. And if you don't, that's fine. No reason to hate on each other. If you think, I mean, I have come to a point where I feel like it's important for everybody, not just content creators, but for all of us to call out bogus content, whether it's the creator that we think is bogus or just some of their content that we think is bogus. I think it is all of our responsibility to do that. So please help with that if you think it's important too. I think it's really important, because I think that if the platform is trashed and nobody says anything when there's just garbage being put out, then people can say, well, YouTube is just garbage. So That's why I think it's important. We know the truth. Kylie wasn't breathing, and that's a huge problem. Exactly. There you go. So yeah, they might have done what a lot of people do when they are involved in a redrum, which is try to stage a car accident and try to make it look like somebody died in a car accident, especially if they can burn it all up and then destroy the evidence so that it can't be figured out that it wasn't a car accident that took the person's life. But yeah, they wouldn't be the first to stage a car accident to try to make it look like that. And yeah, that's a super awesome point. Thank you, Mrs. G. It's always something to keep in the forefront of our minds. Yes, Elf on the Shelf, Jackie B. I'm just harsh one, Shelly, and I love harsh reality. Yeah, I just kind of burnt out. It's probably me. I was overplaying his stuff, but also other things that, just my opinion. It's cool. I'll just move right along. He would come into my chat sometimes, like a year ago, and he was always kind of, I don't know. I would love it if he wanted to reach out to me. We've emailed each other a couple of times, but that's fine. Either way is fine. I mean, it's hard when you're a content creator to just stay focused on, staying in your lane basically and getting your content out there. It's very challenging because you get a lot of distractions. And I like what Paula Plunder said as far as like all the drama goes, is she just blocks, deletes, and ignores. So I think that's a really good modus operandus for sure. Absolutely. I'd like to say I was there during the live last night. In my opinion, the cars going in opposite directions will look like there's a collision. I agree with that. And I wasn't there live, but I watched it today. I thought that you said it, Mrs. G, but you can definitely see a car get hit and flip several times. I'm pretty sure that that's what I saw, Anna Bean. For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, it looks like a car flips and maybe he's rolling down a hill, right? That's what I was thinking. I try not to follow all of them, but the hubs likes him. Yeah. And once in a while, I'll tune in and catch one that I'm really glad that I tuned in for. So I love many creators follow hard work. Yeah. And it changes for me. I mean, I've loved Drip Drop since the minute I discovered him over a year ago when he wasn't quite that big yet. And I'm really happy for him that he's gotten so super huge. He totally deserves it. And the other content creators that I love so much are all of our Squirrel Squad people. I don't care if a channel is big or small. I just like the channels that I like. I really like Bailey Syrian. I'd forgotten about her and her, what is it called? Murder and Makeup, or it's Mayhem Murder and Makeup, something like that. Anyway, she does amazing storytelling and amazing makeup, and I'm not even a makeup person. I also really like Brush Junkie and Hustle Biatch, and glad that he's back. I'm glad that Brush Junkie keeps dropping her videos, and the Hawaii Real Estate. I'm a big supporter of him too. I know he's had a hard time with getting bullied, and it's awful. It's awful that channels get bullied. And I do feel like we need to wrap up, you guys, because we're at 90 minutes and I just, like, my throat's getting a little bit sore, even though I keep drinking my super healthy veggie juice because I'm showing off how healthy I can be, right? I try to drink something like this every single day, sometimes 2 a day. Because I'll be honest, sometimes eating vegetables is just more trouble than I can deal with. Aren't I bad? But drinking them is pretty easy, even when it tastes terrible. Kylie wasn't breathing. Exactly. So she wasn't driving. Right? No brainer. No noise, no airbags. Her car wasn't completely smashed. Fly. Yeah. Yeah, it did look to me. I don't know if this is what you were intending to say, CB, but it did look to me like a car kind of flew in that video that Shan was playing. Some, though, with drama layer have great work. That's probably when she passed away. Love drip. Hubs we suffer for. Oh, I know. My husband watches the craziest stuff on television. I'm just like, I said to him this morning, I said, what's the problem? Like, is that the Y chromosome talking? But, he works nights, so he comes home and he unwinds with the boob tube for a little bit. But yeah, he watches stuff I would never watch in a million years. Like ridiculous, silly stuff. And let's see, I love Bailey. Anna Bean says, yeah, and I really like Christina Randall. I think Bailey and Christina Randall are just really good storytellers. Who else that they do those stories from start to finish? I like the content creators that do that. Those are the two that I really like that do that. I have said that the lights move weird when you are in rough roads and trees and water plus other light sources around. I just don't believe that fire cam is from the night they say. I agree with you, Harsh One. I can totally be down with that. Also, someone explain putting footage on a different day and time. Impossible. Yeah, I know. The whole fire cam footage thing bothered me so much from the beginning because, again, with my husband being a first responder of all three, firefighting, EMT, and law enforcement, and us having been to Tahoe a few times back in the 90s, I knew for a fact that they had those fire cams. And as soon as this whole thing happened, I was like, well, good thing they have the fire cams. They'll be able to see everything because of like the infrared light and all that. Like they'll be able to tell exactly what happened. That was the first thing I thought when we were out camping in Michigan. And I heard about this case last year on like August 9th, I think. And then the fire cams weren't mentioned for a couple of months, not until MC Ultra got set loose on the streets of YouTube and SF investigates. So I knew something was up right away. The fact that they weren't just pulling the fire cam from jump, I mean, that would have been the simplest. And all of the other freaking video footage of like the traffic cams. Give me an effing break. Not just that one still shot of Kylie, not Kylie, in the little convenience store, but what about all the freaking Ring doorbell cams? What about all the videos and pictures that everybody took at the quote unquote party that have never been public, that have, I think, probably been destroyed or at least hidden? I have said that the lights move weird. And when you're on rough roads and trees and water plus other light sources around, I just don't believe that the fire cam is. Yeah, I read that one. Did I highlight it? Because it's acting like I didn't. Maybe I didn't. Someone explain putting footage on a different day. Yeah, I might have already highlighted that one too. Audio, Sandy Ruler says, yeah, I need to go too because my brain is starting to fade if you can't tell. Great chat, Jackie Bushbowl. Well, thanks so much for being here, you guys. I love you all. I don't think Kylie drove herself into the water and she was not alive when she was put in the water. I agree with that, Harsh One, 100%. That I can hands down with great certainty say that is accurate. Her car was only driven from the sanctuary not long enough to make engine hot. And CB says, yes, Harsh, 100%. Yep, me as well. And I thought they'd show it on the news. Exactly. I hear you. Absolutely. I have talked to so many people that are in the EMT and fire department that said that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know. I'm really fortunate to have somebody in-house that I can consult with on all of these things. He's also an expert in ballistics. So as far as the Rust case goes, he knows a lot. So yeah. I'm just going to look real quick to see if there's anything I missed here. If I did, it's going to have to wait because my doggy's scratching at the door and my brain is going kerplunk. So what else, you guys? Let me just sign off appropriately with sending you guys light and love. I've got my cool sign over here, but you totally can't see it. It's in the dark, 100%. The one that says, let your light so shine. So I love to sign off with that and just send you guys love and light. Remind you to eat healthy, eat high protein, eat a lot of produce, especially vegetables. Try to get some exercise and stretch. And if nothing else, the neck stretching just feels so good. And what else? Make sure you get your rest, sleep, be kind to yourself, be kind to other people. And see you on the next live with Shan, right? Have a great day. It is just about 3:00 on Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So see you soon. Hopefully tomorrow before 12. We'll see how that goes. That was my plan today, and I got on here a little bit after 1. Just happy to see you guys. Thanks again. See you on the next one.